Hey gang, Ronan here. As you can see in this game, we've got Reejr in the Tier 10 Premium Royal Navy battleship Thunderer and Flagstaff 2016, known amongst those in ICOP as Rocket, playing the Tier 10 German battleship Großer Kurfürst. Let me go in here real quick and address a bug that was introduced with the 10.5 update, where these will not stay set for replays. But I want you to be able to see all the information, so I go in and set those manually. Now, I don't really know much about this game beyond what Reejr shared with me when he sent me the game replay file, and that is that he and Rocket both had a good game. So we will learn together how things go here. Matchmaking? Well, matchmaking's pretty decent. There's no CV, that's a plus. In terms of HE spamming, well, there's quite a bit of that, which is a particularly dangerous threat for the Kurfürst. There's Colbert, Drake, Ibuki, and Baltimore. All of those ships are capable of some pretty decent HE spam. I would say particularly Colbert and Ibuki. But when you add to that Shimakaze, Fletcher, and Loyang, there's also a torpedo threat. This is a game with caps to contest. So presumably the friendly DDs will be out there spotting torpedoes at least a little bit. Thunderer is generally considered a long-range type of battleship. Not exactly like, but I guess in the same general category as something like Yamato. You don't want to get close because you can take a lot of damage if you start getting hit. And your shells the guns are very accurate, and they hit really hard. The HE is just phenomenal. Now the Kurfürst, that ship actually in a lot of ways does better if you're able to get close. Getting close is kind of the challenge. The turtleback armor is kind of designed to prevent citadels at close range. At long range, it's not as effective. But when you're getting close in pretty much any German battleship, you're probably going to be facing a tremendous amount of HE, which will get you burning. It's kind of a big target. I think that's going to fall behind the Sovietsky Soyuz. Oh, look at that. Lands 2 shells. One of them doesn't even penetrate and starts 2 fires. So Sovietsky Soyuz, insanely, in my opinion, repairs it right away. And that means if he gets another fire or 2 or 3, he is going to burn for a while. Looks like a good shot. There's another fire, 13,530 damage. Rocket's putting in some AP shells, fall a little bit short. And Reejr's going to try and hit the nose of the Sovietsky Soyuz now. Try and get that 3rd fire going. I think that's going to probably end up on the back half of the ship. But some more damage, and the fires will continue to burn, or the fire. You can see that Reejr's taking some damage. He's got the heel going now. He was showing broadside to Lenin and Kurfürst. I'm not sure which one smacked him, but somebody did. And he is sailing kind of broadside to them, so there's the potential for another such paddling. Lenin seems to have stopped. A couple shells. Shikishima's focusing the Lenin. I think that's probably a good decision, Reejr, to Try and hit that Fletcher. If you can get rid of the Fletcher, that allows you to move up on this flank. And rocket finishes off the Fletcher, which does open the door to be able to move up this flank. The bad guys are down 2 ships. Good guys are down none at this point, but the Minos, he's probably not long for this world. I mean, it'd be kind of a minor miracle if this lasts much longer. Oh, there he goes. It's going to fly over the GK. Oh, 1 hit, 2,700 damage. Sashio put out some torps, but not a whole lot done there. This could hurt. Reejr is kind of sailing broadside again to the curve first. Curve first went for the Ibuki, thank goodness. There's fire number 4. 5.5 minutes in, 51,000 damage and counting. Curve first is reversing now. There's a fire number 5. And the damage total just keeps climbing. Might be a good time to switch to the Lenin. We're just going to spin the ship around, get the guns moving to the other side. GK is already burning pretty well. I think I probably would have put those shots on Lenin, but you know, if a fire goes out, maybe we start another here. Nope. Reejr stays angled against the Lenin shells. Looks like all the fires might be out on the curve first. So here's hoping that another one gets started. Look at all those torpedoes coming. Nope, no fire. Holland takes out the enemy Shima. Enemy Conqueror takes out the friendly Riga. Good guys have lost 2 ships. Bad guys have lost 4. Here's hoping that that lands and gets another couple fires started. We'll see. Showing broadside again. Well, there's a fire. 7.5 minutes in, 111,000 and counting damage. That's kind of the beauty of the Thunder. Just stay back and spam HE. I don't think the ship or the type of play is good for the game overall, but don't hate the player, hate the game. I don't blame any player for making use of ships that are put into the game. I just question whether or not this was a good idea. Yeah, that GK, he's not long for this world. He's gone now. And as the last bit of damage ticks on that ship, there's another fire, fire number 7. Reejr picks up the Arsonist. Bad guys have been working to try and even things out a little bit, and actually they've done a pretty good job. There's the Witherer for Reejr. His 7 fires with 1 still burning, 133,000 damage and counting. Maybe another fire or 2 here. No, those shells fall a little bit short. This could still go either way. Friendly Iowa and friendly Sashio were both really beat up. Sashio out on the flank. Not really going to get a chance to hit the Lenin unless the Lenin decides to run. Friendly Mainz takes out the Sovietsky Soyuz. The bad guys, though, they're fighting back. I mean, they really are doing all they can. They've managed to secure the Bravo cap, push the Holland back. Lenin's trying like crazy to hang on to the Alpha cap. And Reejr just keeps pummeling that Lenin with HE. Rocket's moved a bit more center. I can't tell if Rocket's firing AP or HE, but I'm sure he's contributing here. Both our heroes have managed to finish someone off. Reejr sitting at roughly 1.3 million potential damage as he, with this volley, probably climbs over 170,000 in damage. And picks up fire number 10. Lenin is facing off now with the Asashio at close range. Lenin's going to move forward. I'm sure he's trying to avoid torpedoes by staying behind the island. And Reejr just continues to rain HE shells down. Now Reejr is still moving forward. Well, I guess he's stopped, but he's still rolling forward or drifting forward. Lo Yang is out ahead of him, so he's going to have to watch for torps. The Lenin does finish off the Asashio, but I have a feeling this might do it for Lenin. Oh, so close. And you can see that player is making use of the special Soviet captain, so he's getting kind of a free heal here. And as I recall, the dispersion for Reejr's shells will be worse. But still, does manage to land 4 shells, just not much damage. I think he hit the most heavily armored part of the guns. This volley will probably do it. Still pretty close to broadside here. The Lenin can do some big damage. Well, decent, but not great. But Reejr finishes off the Lenin. That'll be it for the Lenin. Now, both teams are still in this game. The bad guys actually have a roughly 70-point lead, even though they're down a ship. But they're about to see their points from the Alpha Cap stop. Shikishima just got in there. As long as Shikishima's in that cap, even if the Reds continue to put shells on Shikishima, the Reds aren't getting any points for it. Meanwhile, Charlie is going to continue to feed points to the good guys. So at this point, we're going to start just on points alone from the caps. Start to see the good guys begin making up a little bit of ground. Holland is in the Bravo cap. Presumably Lo Yang is still in there. Iowa finishes off the Colbert. There's the high caliber for Reejr and 2 fires on the Conqueror. If you're going to farm HE damage, Conqueror is a good place to do it. Conqueror has an amazing heal, so you can take a lot of damage, heal up, and allow you to do a lot more damage. Conqueror must have accelerated quite a bit there. He just moved right out from under those shells. Rocket is in the Bravo cap. Enemy Kurfürst takes out the friendly Iowa. I think those shells are probably all going to... Well, no, 4 of them do clear the island. Lands 1 for 2,700 damage, no fire. Mine's just trying to stay away from Kurfürst, which is probably a really good idea. Good guys are about to have all 3 caps. You can see some torpedoes there from the Lo Yang. Headed for Rocket. If they have the range, it looks like probably at least one will hit. Rocket's probably trying to get his nose up to be able to get in between them. This will probably finish off this Kurfürst right here. And it looks like Rocket was able to avoid the torps. Mines goes down to the Kurfürst, and then Reejr finishes off that Kurfürst. Rocket does a torpedo. You can see the Lo Yang there. Doesn't really have a shot on him. The Rocket does. Rocket's secondaries are probably going to work. Holland is pushing toward the Lo Yang. Lo Yang can smoke up and hydro. and has pretty long-range hydro, so that can go badly for Holland. It's just not over. If you're keeping track, that's 13 fires for Reejr so far. Holland does go down, probably to exactly what I just described. Loyang's probably sitting in smoke and hydroed up. Drake is positioned to keep Reejr spotted. Reejr is moving into the cap circle. He's trying to avoid being in a position to eat torpedoes from the Loyang, which I don't think they'd be back up just yet, but it probably won't be long. Good guys do have a little bit of a points lead, and Reejr's in a position to make sure the Drake cannot secure that cap. That's fire number 14 for Reejr. And it looks like Reejr might push around this island, which is going to push him into potential torpedo strike position from the Loyang. Drake may be pushing forward in a hope of getting a torpedo strike. He's going to show broadside to do it though, and I imagine this is probably going to finish him off right here. Yeah, he did get his starboard side torpedoes away and landed one of them, but no flood, thank goodness.
Problem solved, sir.
That's 4 ships sunk by Reejr, 217,000+ damage. Rocket has also sunk a ship and has presumably been doing his own share of damage. Between the two of them, they finished out 5 enemy ships. Reejr decides to stick with the AP. Rocket and Reejr together, trying to secure this Bravo cap. 3 minutes, 21 seconds remain. And unless that Loyang gets a lucky torpedo strike, I have a feeling this one's in the bag for the good guys. Decent damage. Reejr's trying to go dark here for a second. Smoke runs out. This is probably going to hurt. Reejr's looking pretty broadside to this guy. Yep, that's it. Reejr's out. Ricochets 3 shells. Now it's up to Rocket. You can see the Loyang there. Torpedoes may come through that gap. Great game, Reejr. 15 fires, 103 shells on target, 3 decaps, 4 ships sunk, 2 secondary hits, and cap assist. Shikishima takes out the Loyang, and with close to 300-point lead, 2 minutes 24 seconds remaining on the clock, and a 2v1, I think this is firmly in the bag for the good guys at this point. Rocket could push forward here, try to get broadside on a Conqueror. I'm not sure why he's sitting there where he's at, but he may be flooring it right now. And this, you can see he's healing. The Kurfürst is not known for for being a particular agile ship, so Shikishima is already moving. Yeah, you can see Rocket is accelerating. It just Kurfürst moves very slowly. Conqueror makes the mistake of showing a little too much side to the Shikishima, and he is really made to pay for that. Rocket's going to get him spotted here in a second. Shikishima is going to get off another volley, and now Rocket has a broadside shot. And there's the game. Great job, fellas.